Wagwan people, welcome to the Black Lad Travel YouTube channel, and today I'll be going through my random move to Singapore.
That money clip us now, the new now looks like whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like whoa, 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 whoa. I hit recorded drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it.
Yes, as I said previously, this video is going to be about the random move that I made to Singapore. I'm going to go through a bit about the struggles and challenges that I faced. Take a sit back because this one's going to be enjoyable. Just to give you a bit of background and where I was at the time prior to doing the random move to Singapore, I was a final year student at Birmingham City University studying computer forensic. I was actually offered my dream job to become a computer forensic analyst, previously to going over to Asia, but I didn't accept yet because I wanted to have some time out to just kind of get away. Uni was a bit stressful, so I thought, you know what, let me give myself a 1 month break or something like that. I can just travel around, and then once I get back, I'll get back into, I can just accept the job and then just start building my career from there. And I just didn't want the burden of having a time to come back and all of that. I just wanted to enjoy, and then once I come back, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to go. And then Singapore came about. The way Singapore came about was actually quite random itself. So because I was the person in charge of booking all the flights and accommodation, and we're still broke boys, I thought, do you know what better way to then just get to Asia itself? If we get to Southeast Asia, once we're there, traveling around will be easy. So I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is just find the cheapest country to get to in Southeast Asia, which happened to be Singapore. And if you know, Singapore is far from cheap. It's like one of the most expensive places I've still been. So we got to so I found cheap flights going to Singapore. And then, so I was like, yo boys, we're going to go to Singapore. It's going to be the first spot. And I did my bit of research, and I was like, wow, this place like safe, clean, strict rules, but you can still get about in that. Quite small as well, and it's meant to be really good, like upmarket place. And I'm from where I'm from, we ain't seen upmarket ever. Singapore's so expensive. I was like, okay boys, we're just gonna spend about 2-3 days here, just settle down, not spend too much money, etc. because the place was mad. And obviously pro travelers, the last place that you want to be is Singapore. If you ain't heard about Tel Aviv, look at it now. You can imagine stepping out from that, and where I'm from, where I was living in Birmingham, all I'm seeing is drug dealers, drug users, crackheads everywhere, and it's not what you want to see. People on spice, just sprangled out in the streets and stuff. So when I saw this, I was like, wow, like, is this what life's about? Is this how man could be living? And it just made sense from that moment. That moment, I thought to myself, I said, yo, man, this is how I should be living. This is it. And after we went out, went to the football, went to a club where man them all patterned up, was living good, found myself a nice little, you know what I mean, Asian persuasion, yellow fever, whatever they want to call it. But it was nice. It was a good intro to Singapore. After traveling Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, we went back to Singapore. And big up Warwick Knights, because they messaged me to say, oh yeah, you can come to training. So I went training, didn't think much of it, to be honest. But I was like, do you know what, it's all right. Imagine if I was working here. I could play football, have work, and it's a nice balance. And I'm in like this really cool city that's just well lit. And that was it for me, really. I said, okay. I said to my boys, I was like, boys, I'm not going back home. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here, see how things are. I didn't have boots, so I had to scrape together money to go to Decathlon to buy some mad boots. Do you know what? Let me see if I can show you the boots. In this, my first training sessions, I rock up with these boots, but I was just killing it. I was killing it. So it was all right, but the boots were still like, right, I can't believe that. So it was a bit mad. At this point, I don't know how much money I've got left. I don't know how much peas I've got left, honestly. And I feel like I've scraped my last bit to like buy boots and that. So it was, showed you my mindset from there anyway. And then, yeah, so for accommodation, I found, we were looking, I remember we was just chilling in this hawker, like, okay, there's a hostel here. But then I found Couchsurfing. Don't know if you've ever looked into Couchsurfing, but it's basically people renting out their couch and man them just like get to sleep. It's good for travelers because people get to meet different cultures and obviously like tell different stories and stuff. So the first one we had, it was me and my boy. We luckily found an Indian couple and their kids were out or away. I think they were in India. So they had the kids' room. So it was literally a bunk bed, which was perfect. Like, what a blessing anyway, like to find a house with a bunk bed. So for me and my boy, it was like, it was perfect. It was perfect. See, the Tinders was working as well. My friend was able to pattern up something. So he was ended up like just staying with this girl, and then there's me on my lonely. And luckily I found another couch surfer, Samantha, big up Samantha, because she helped me stay in her living room, and like they had the sofa bed and all of that. So I was able to pattern up there for like a couple of weeks, which really helped. Also, what really helped as well was it was World Cup, and I had a bet on going on for France to win the World Cup, and that came in. And then I also had like another request to bet on, so that they all came in. So I got like 100 plus, which was unreal. And throughout this time that I'm in Singapore, I gave myself 2 weeks to find a job. So I was just doing a lot of job hunting and speaking with other people, and they've just been like, finding a job in Singapore is so hard. There's people that have been waiting years and they still can't get a job to get one. So that was going to be a bit of a challenge, but you know, I've made it this far already. I'm only going to keep going. And then I was very lucky because I saw a job advertisement for a recruitment consultant. And I've never done recruitment, but in my head I was like, oh, I'd love to do like recruitment. If I was going to do something, I'd do recruitment, because I'd be the person to get the man them jobs and help with all of that as well. So it made sense. And then I was looking at the perks of it. I was like, this is mad. Like, I can make good money and the lifestyle seems like cool, and it's a good introduction into Singapore as well. I then saw the job post and I was like, why not? Let's do this. And then messaged her like, oh, I'd love to like go out for coffee or something. I can't remember what I said to her, to be honest. I'll try to find that message back. But then she was like really cool and was like, yeah, had an interview, was like, yeah, come in on Friday. I'm like, got an interview. So I was really gassed. But like just getting the interview, being gassed, like, yo, this is sick. She was like, yeah, just come in. I was like, I've got no clothes because I'm literally just traveling around. I think I went to my, I still remember, I went to my interview in loafers, blue ripped jeans, and like a granddad shirt. The swag was impeccable, obviously normal, but luckily it was a Friday. So obviously dressed down Fridays and stuff. So it kind of worked. So the interview went well. It was like a 3-hour interview, a grilling, but it was good. And then got in for a second round. In the interview, I was like, okay, cool. I'm pretty much patterned up now. I've got a bit of money with me from the betting and stuff. So I'm cool. What I'm gonna do is go to a different place. I'm gonna get out of Singapore. So I stayed in Johor Bahru. Johor Bahru is pretty much a 10-minute bus ride from Singapore to Malaysia. And Malaysia's a lot more cheaper than Singapore. So I was like, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stay in Johor, and then if I need to get to Singapore, I'll just do the commute. But I'll stay in Malaysia because things are a lot cheaper. So I stayed in this mad hostel. I think it was like £2 a night, something like that. This is it. I can't believe I stayed in that. When I think about it, it was mad. It was mad. But yeah, I stayed in that while still traveling to Singapore for like football and stuff because it was quite cheap. So I did all of that. Then the second round interview comes, and then they're like, okay, you got to dress formal. So I'm like, cool. So I go to this place called Little India, Mustafa Centre in Little India. So I get myself some trousers. I borrow my boy's blazer. So I went in like a purple blazer and then some black jeans. It was mad. People probably looking at me like, what is this dog wearing? But man had to make ends meet. You know what I'm saying? Because all I knew, it's going to be a struggle for the first month, couple of weeks. But then after that, I'll be patterned. I'll be fine. So I was also staying with, so after I did the couchsurfing, I then met my friend Ira, who put me up because her housemate was moving out and she had a spare room. So for me, it was like perfect. I'd only had to pay a little bit and she understood my situation. She knew that I was looking out for a job and stuff. So I was able to then actually live in Singapore, which was great. Things are going good, got the job, and then it was like, okay, now I've got the job, I've got to wait for my work visa and stuff, which took long, so long. Well, I think it took like 3-4 weeks, but it felt like long. And then the madness happened. So I'm waiting for a couple of weeks for my work visa to actually bring it back. So this time now, the struggle of living in Malaysia and stuff, I got lucky again. So I had a bet on accumulator. I remember telling my boy, I was like, do you know what, this bet I put on is tasty, you know. I should win about 400 or 500 on 400-500. So I'm like, I'm up. I am up. I'm blessed. Like I'm up now. Like this is gonna carry me to the month. So my first pay, I'm gonna be up till then. So it's all good. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this job. So what I'm gonna do is just go clothes shopping. But I'm up, but I'm not that up. So Singapore prices, we can't run with that. So I went back to Malaysia. So I go back to Malaysia. This was on the Sunday. On the Sunday, I was like, do you know what? I might start work soon. So let me just go on the Sunday, pattern up everything, and then hopefully I'll be starting work soon. So done my shopping. Everything's done. On my way back to Singapore now, I get stopped by border force. So I'm thinking, why they stop me? But I was like, do you know what? Let me just go through the motions. So he's like, why are you coming to Singapore? So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be getting a job soon. So I just came to Malaysia to just do some shopping, just to help me out for work and stuff. Guy put me in, he was like, what did he say? Where's your other ID? Because I only have my passport. He's like, where's your other ID? Thinking, why do I need my other ID? I've got my passport. He's like, oh, you don't know Johor is dangerous. I was like, what? He was like, oh, because you're from London, you think it's not dangerous. And I was like, do you know when people are just waffling to waffle? So I was like, yeah, whatever. So he was like, okay, just go outside. So I'm outside waiting for about an hour or two. Calls my name. Okay, Kieran, you've been denied entry to Singapore. I'm like, huh? How can I get... I'm thinking, yo, see my passport? United Kingdom. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you think to yourself like, yo, I've got privilege. Not really, no privileges here. Yeah, like, she's like, okay, go sit back down. I'm like, cool. Thinking, rah, can't deny me. You mad? And then wait another hour. So she's like, oh, Kieran, these guys are gonna escort you. So I'm escort you, right? Escort me. So I'm like, okay, cool. Next you know, I'm on a bus going back to JB. I'm thinking, yo, I can't even argue with these guys. Got guns and stuff. I can't even do nothing. They're like, yeah, go. So my head is gone. So I had to go back. I wasn't even staying there. This time I'm staying in Singapore. I had to go back to JB, get a hotel for 2 nights. They're like, you can't reapply to get back in for like 3 weeks. I'm thinking, yo, I'm going to be starting work soon. Next thing you know, this was because my work visa didn't come, but usually I can just go back and forth because you get like 30 days extra or what. So I get a message, I get an email from my new company to say, your work visa is here. I'm like, yo, going back to immigration. Go straight back to immigration. They're like, why are you back here? You can't apply back for like 3-4 weeks or something like that. I was like, I've got my work visa. I'm going back in. I've got work. You're not getting me away from my bag. I'm going for my bag. I've not been done staying in mad places, hostels and all this for you to try to deny me for nonsense. Luckily she was nice. And yeah, I was able to go back to Singapore. Not gonna lie, after the madness, life was good. All the struggle and all of that, it was gone. It was just another story, another chapter in my story. So I still speechless now. Even when I think of it, I'm still smiling now, bare grin and teeth and that. But yeah, no. But thank you for listening to the Black Lad travel story and the random move to Singapore. Hope you've enjoyed it. And as I said, don't be a sinker, be a swimmer. Even if you can't swim, make the best out of the situation. Remember, you've got through 100% of all the bad moments in your life. Just keep going, innit? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll be coming through with more travel stories. Peace out.